The drama surrounding Angel Reese has reached a point that feels less like a basketball career and more like an ongoing case study in how hype and reality collide. What was once framed as a triumphant story of a rising star, a college champion stepping confidently into the professional spotlight, has instead morphed into one of the most bizarre spectacles in sports marketing history. And at the center of it all sits Reebok, a company that bet big on Angel Reese, only to find themselves staring down what might become the most expensive endorsement mistake in recent memory. Think about the sheer absurdity of it. Here's a 6'3" forward, someone who dominated at LSU, someone whose name was supposed to carry weight as a new face of the WNBA. Reebok believed she was going to be their culture-shifting athlete, the one who could bring the brand back into relevance the way Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson once did. They announced her as their big signing, their revival centerpiece, and even put a 2026 signature shoe on the calendar. The idea was simple. If you attach your brand to a young, brash, unapologetic star, you can sell not just sneakers, but a whole cultural identity. But the gamble isn't paying off. And the problem isn't about marketability or personality, it's about basketball. Because while Reebok executives were busy building their narrative, Angel Reese was busy turning the most basic part of the sport, the layup, into an unintentional comedy act. It started quietly enough, with missed opportunities here and there. But by her sophomore WNBA campaign, the numbers became impossible to ignore. Reese was shooting just 31.5% on layups, all while attempting more layups than almost anyone else in the league. Stop for a moment and let that sink in. Professional basketball players typically finish these shots at a clip closer to 70 or 80%. Reese somehow was turning a fundamental into a coin flip. And when the footage started making its way onto social media, the problem went viral. One sequence against the New York Liberty told the entire story. In just 12 seconds, Reese managed to miss 4 consecutive putback attempts, 2 of which were blocked. The clip spread online like wildfire, but not because it was inspiring. It became an instant meme, the kind of thing fans looped over circus music, a highlight turned into lowlight. The joke wasn't just that Reese missed, it was that she turned basketball's most basic shot into a performance piece. And if the viral clips weren't enough, the commentary sealed the narrative. Announcers, trained professionals who can make even the dullest mid-range jumper sound electric, couldn't hold back their laughter. In one broadcast, after another inexplicable miss, a commentator audibly chuckled, almost forgetting he was live. He had to snap himself back into professionalism, but the damage was done. When the people paid to hype your game can't even hide their disbelief, you've entered rare and humiliating territory. Angel Reese, the supposed face of Reebok's basketball comeback, had become a blooper reel in real time. Chicago's struggles didn't help either. The Sky weren't winning games with Reese, and without her, they looked even worse. It was a paradox no one wanted to face. The team couldn't win with her, and yet they somehow looked more organized in her absence. Analysts began pointing out her impact on winning, or lack thereof, with brutal clarity. Out of every 3 games, Reese might win one. Beating teams with winning records? Almost unheard of, and then came the optics. Reese's rival, Caitlin Clark, was translating her college dominance into professional competence, selling out arenas, drawing national attention, and proving to be the face of the WNBA that Reese was supposed to be. When Clark missed a highly anticipated matchup against Reese, ticket prices plummeted, from $100 down to $5. Fans weren't paying to see Reese, they were paying to see Clark. And without Clark in the picture, there was simply no demand. That's the brutal truth. Angel Reese isn't drawing people into the arena. She's driving them to TikTok, where her missed layups are stitched together into comedic compilations. Entire channels have sprung up dedicated to mocking her struggles. Part 36, Part 37, another miss, another laugh track. The basketball world isn't rallying behind her, it's laughing at her. So where does that leave Reebok? This is a company that's been trying for years to claw its way back into basketball relevance. Signing Angel Reese was supposed to be a bold move, a statement of intent. Shaquille O'Neal himself, now an executive with the brand, signed off on her as the first big face of their revival. Reebok's CEO, Todd Krinsky, went as far as to compare Reese to Shaq and Iverson, legends who not only changed culture, but who were, let's be blunt, dominant forces on the court. Reese, on the other hand, has struggled to hit shots high school players make with ease, and the marketing pitch doesn't make sense anymore. Endorsements work because fans want to emulate success. They bought Jordans because they wanted to be like Mike. They buy LeBron's gear because it symbolizes dominance, excellence, championships. What exactly are fans supposed to emulate with Angel Reese? Miss layups like your favorite pro? Reebok has tried to pivot, leaning on Reese's personality, her unapologetic bravado, her willingness to stir the pot. But personality can only carry you so far in a performance brand. Lifestyle endorsements can survive without wins. Performance brands cannot, and when your signature athlete is known less for dominating and more for fumbling at the rim, you've got a branding nightmare on your hands. It's not just a Reebok problem either. It's a sports marketing case study. Social media has flipped the script. Instead of success driving visibility, sometimes failure does. Angel Reese's struggles have actually made her more famous than steady, competent players who rarely go viral. People aren't tuning in to watch her dominate. They're tuning in to watch her collapse. It's the same dynamic that fuels reality TV, fame through dysfunction. Reese has essentially become the basketball equivalent of a reality star, famous for being infamous. But viral fame doesn't sell shoes. Viral fame burns bright and fades quickly, leaving brands scrambling to clean up the mess. Right now, Reebok is staring down a ticking clock. The 2026 shoe launch looms closer with every game, every miss, every compilation video. And with each one, the whispers grow louder. Will Reebok cancel the launch? Will they delay it, rebrand it, or quietly back away before the release becomes the most embarrassing moment in sneaker history? It's not as though Reese has zero positives. She can rebound, she has size, she's had flashes where her numbers look decent. But even her best nights are marred by inefficiency. Take a 22-point, 13-rebound performance. On paper, that looks impressive. Dig deeper, and you see the cracks. 6 for 16 shooting, -11 on the plus-minus, bailed out by foul calls and free throws. That's not dominance. That's smoke and mirrors.